discuss that and more is Dorothy Cassaseri.
Pay attention to every word Dorothy says.
Hey, I'm Wayne Brady, and I'm here with the beautiful Dorothy Cassaseri here on Celebrity Corner.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Cassaseri, and welcome to Celebrity Corner. Hello to my fabulous audience. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. Our first guest, I'm so excited about our first guest, has played Ben Stiller's sidekick in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. He's acted alongside Nicole Kidman in The Interpreter, and you may have caught him recently in the Oscar-nominated film American Hustle alongside Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Amy Adams, and Christian Bale. Focus, his romantic comedy with Will Smith, hits theaters early next year. He's a Hollywood insider, and he is here tonight joining us in studio. Please put your hands together for actor Adrian Martinez.
Oh,
Hi, Adrian.
Please sit down, please. You're embarrassing me.
Welcome to our show.
Oh, it's such a gift to be here. I'm really psyched. Thank you, Dorothy.
You're so welcome.
May I call you Dorothy?
You absolutely should. What else would you call me?
Right.
So you have such an impressive list of movies that you've worked on, actors that you've worked with. Recently, you were in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty with Ben Stiller, and he was a director on that film, correct?
He wrote, he directed it, he produced it, he started it, he worked on catering. I've never seen a guy work harder in my life. He's just completely enmeshed with his work.
I love hearing that kind of thing. You know, on Celebrity Corner, we focus so much on the glamour of Hollywood and, you know, all of the glitz of it. But being, you know, an actor is really, really hard work. I mean, you have some pretty grueling days on movie sets.
Yeah, one time I was at craft service for like 2 hours. Do I get the chips? Do I get the hummus?
And craft service, for people at home that may not know, is the catering, right? The catering tent.
Yeah.
So the food people.
Yeah, no, but yeah, we put in some long hours on that movie because Ben's very meticulous about everything. I had like 3 appointments just to work out my hair. I had 3 appointments just to work out my hair.
Wait,
I'm serious.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
So he really pays attention to every detail, and he wants everything a certain way.
Yeah, like he would look at this and he would say, let's put this over here. No, it's better here. Okay, we'll get back to this.
So it sounds like it was really a great pleasure to work with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a real mensch. You know, the guy's just been doing everything for so long. You know, Zoolander and Something About Mary. But in Secret Life of Walter Mitty, I thought he showed a more complete character, you know, a real human person.
I agree with that. That's a good point, because a lot of his roles in the past have kind of been more like comedy and a little bit more of a shallow character.
Yeah,
but
I think that's the challenge with him, is that he has to fight against his own persona.
Right.
Because people have an expectation, oh, it's the guy from, you know, Something About Mary.
Right.
And then you see Walter Mitty, and he's a completely different person.
Well, that happens to actors in Hollywood. I mean, Matthew McConaughey, he was in romantic comedies for most of his career, and now he just took, you know, an Oscar home. So.
Yeah, I stay away from that by staying out of work. I just stay out of work.
It seems like you're working a lot. Let's talk about Focus, the film that you have coming out next year with Will Smith.
Yeah, I'm his sidekick in that. There he is.
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about what the experience was working with Will Smith. He's a Philly guy.
Oh, my God. This guy, he can light up not only a room, but a whole city. I mean, he has such a magnetic personality. Just look at me and go the opposite. You know, you got Will Smith. I mean, he's just, like, amazing. There's not an autograph he won't sign. You know, he really enjoys his fame. And he puts it to a lot of good causes, too. So he's a great guy.
I agree with you. I've interviewed a lot of celebrities in my career, and when Live 8 came to Philadelphia years ago, I was working at a magazine at the time, and I interviewed Will Smith on the red carpet.
Yeah.
And you just couldn't have met a more down-to-earth, kind, you know, welcoming person. And you don't always get that with the celebrities. You know, let's not, you know, let's be honest about this.
Yeah. He told me that years ago he had an altercation with somebody, and the person was kind of being rude to him. So he came back with something, you know, like aggressive and rude back, and the guy pulled out a weapon on him. And it could have gotten, his career could have been over like that. And he decided that from that moment on, he was going to treat everyone he ever met with respect and generosity, no matter what they put out.
Wow, that's
And-
amazing.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Wow, that's an interesting story. And a good way to live too, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
don't mess with people.
Yeah, don't wait till knife point to be kind.
Yeah. we want
Be
you to
kind
learn.
now.
We want you to learn this lesson early on.
Yeah.
So I want to take a look at you in action on a film that was just in theaters. It's called A Miracle in Spanish Harlem.
Yeah, I'll leave now.
Can we? Let's take a look at this clip.
How was I gonna pay you?
I told you, you don't have to pay me. I told you, I work for free. I told you, Tito, I told you.
None of you know what I have to go through. Not my mother, not my father, nobody. And if there's a God, he owes me.
I don't owe nobody. It's 5 o'clock in the day. I go home now.
Wow, that is some really powerful
Thank you.
acting.
I just thought I'd bring down the room for a moment.
No, I think it's, it really takes serious acting chops to get into a role like that. You play
Yeah.
a mentally
Mentally
disturbed
disabled
man, right?
guy.
A mentally disabled
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, that was a challenging role. I didn't have much time to prepare, but I really dove into it. I had worked on another role with this agency called the Inclusion for the Arts, which is part of the Screen Actors Guild, and they try to get disabled people who want to act more involved in the business. So I met up with some actors that were a part of that, and I kind of like studied the mannerisms and everything. I volunteered at the Cerebral Palsy Institute. I just kind of took it all in and, came out that way.
That's fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Adrian Martinez, for coming in studio today.
Thank you so much.
What a fascinating guy, really.
Thank you so much.
We have such a fabulous show for you tonight. Later, we'll sit down with a doctor from New York City to talk celebrity weight loss and the crazy things stars do to get red carpet ready. Plus, lots of giveaways from Popchips and more. Up next, all the way from Napa Valley, California, Janice Mondavi from CK Mondavi joins me for a wine pairing crash course. You will never hand that wine list to someone else ever again. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Celebrity Corner. I'm your host, Dorothy Cassaseri. So how many of you have been in that position where you're out to dinner, it's time to order wine, and you immediately defer to your date, your husband, your father, your brother, your boyfriend, as if they know more than we do? Joining me today for a crash course on wine and which celeb favorite dishes to pair it with, all the way from Napa Valley, California, from a brand I know you will all recognize, CK Mondavi. Please welcome Janice Mondavi.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
I mean,
pleasure.
No better expert to teach us about wine pairing than a Mondavi.
Well, when we talk about wine, we love it.
Of course.
It's in our blood.
Of course. Now,
So-
CK Mondavi is really special because there is a long family story behind the
Yes.
wine. Tell us a little bit about it.
My husband's Mark. His grandparents in the 1943 bought the property in California in Napa Valley. So the CK Mondavi label was actually established in 1944.
Wow.
And the other brands were established right around that as well. But we are now 4th generation, my husband being 3rd, and we have 4 daughters. 3 of them are in the industry, 2 work for us. They are 4th generation, and we're continuing to grow.
It's a true family
Yeah,
business. I love
absolutely,
that. I love that because
absolutely.
there's so many different wine labels out there, and I love a label that really has a story, and what better story than
Yeah,
family all working
we
together.
have a lot of stories. A lot of history.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Is it all smooth sailing, or is there some?
Well, there were some family issues a few years ago, but that was a generation before me and my husband, but everything was smoothed out before.
Now, another really special thing about CK Mondavi is this partnership that you have with the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, this is the 3rd year that we've been programming and working with the Intrepid Fallen Heroes. My father-in-law, who's 99, still in very, very good health.
God bless. That's amazing.
It
Wow.
really is amazing.
Yeah.
Was a World War II veteran. And a few years ago, we decided we needed to start honoring that. We're very traditional in our family, very historical as well, and thought that this would be a great partnership to work with. So when you buy a bottle of CK Mondavi, part of the funds go to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes to help our fallen warriors.
I love that.
and their families.
What a fabulous cause to
So-
support. I mean, CK Mondavi, it's an American-made brand.
It
Everything is done here in America, and that's another kind of reason.
We are 100% American, 100% California fruit. Some of our competitors actually, and on this price point, a lot of our competitors will ship in fruit from South America, from the Europe, and we are strictly California.
I love that.
So-
I love that. So many great things. So many great aspects to this brand.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So without further ado, let's get down to some wine tasting because
All right.
I'm getting a little thirsty.
Okay.
So we picked some of celebrities' favorite dishes because we're always kind of curious what the celebs love snacking on, or should I say devouring in this
Yes.
case. And we want to hear from you kind of, when we're out at a restaurant, how we know, which wines to pair with what.
All right.
So let's start first with Jennifer Hudson. She loves shrimp stir fry. Not a surprise. That's probably how she lost all that weight. She's a healthy eater. So with something like a shrimp stir fry, we would pair with the...
I would pair it with the Chardonnay. So your Chardonnay comes through with more of a citrus balance on it, a little bit of an oak.
Don't be jealous, ladies.
A nice crisp, follow through on the flavor, and it's just a very, very easy, approachable Chardonnay.
It's very refreshing and delicious.
Thank
I
you.
love
a little
it.
bit of pear, maybe a little bit of apple through that too.
I love that. Okay, so let's move on to the reds, my personal favorite.
All right.
So Jennifer Aniston, she's another one that has a great figure, but she loves quesadillas and enchiladas. She's really into those, cheesy Mexican dishes with a lot of really full flavors. So if we're out ordering something of that sort, what wine would you suggest we pair?
So the Scarlet 5.
Okay.
And that my husband created. Mark created that in honor of his wife and our 4 daughters because we're a house of women.
Poor
very
guy.
much, yeah, I know, very much
He would
so.
fit in perfectly here on Celebrity Corner.
And so this is more of a Bordeaux-based blend. So Cabernet base on this with a little bit of the softness of a Merlot. And Petit Verdot gives it a bit of almost a little chocolate edge to it. And then the Cab Franc gives a little bit of a stoutness and a little bit of
So this is really a good blend,
It's
and that's why
really
it
a
goes well
nice
with
blend.
all those flavors of Mexican food, the cheese
Exactly.
and the hot peppers and
Yes.
things like that. I don't know. I always have jalapenos.
It
with my
has a little
Mexican
bit of
food.
spice on it too, and
Right.
a nice, good, soft finish.
Oh, I like that very much.
Thank you.
I wish I could share this wine with all these beautiful ladies in my audience. Okay, but I'm not sharing. Okay, last but not least, we have Kate Bosworth, who is obsessed with spaghetti bolognese, which of course is a great, typical,
The
traditional Italian
fabulous
dish.
dish.
So that's going to go with a red. What would we?
And
pair
that would be the Cabernet Sauvignon. And again, this is predominantly a Cabernet. It has a nice, robust berry, kind of a blackberry and a cherry character to it.
Oh, it's delicious.
Again, it has that nice soft finish, and it would pair well.
And
with
you
the
have
bolognese.
you have a lot of recipes on
We do.
on your website.
We do.
Where people can recreate some of these dishes at home or dishes similar to
So
them.
if you go to ckmondavi.com, we have a handful of recipes. One is a Gruyere, creamy Gruyere shrimp that would go fabulous
that would be
with
great
our
for
Chardonnay.
Jennifer Hudson's.
Perfect. And then we have another one, which is a lamb curry that would be fabulous. Actually, I believe that was the one for the Cabernet, a little bit out of order here. And then the other one is a family recipe, a lasagna recipe.
Oh
And
gosh,
it's
that
fabulous.
must be incredible.
Well, it is. And what's really fun about it is that my husband's grandmother and her very best friend had this recipe back in the 1940s and 50s in the Napa Valley. One of my daughters and the great-granddaughter of Rosa are very good friends, and she passed on the
So it's
recipe.
been passed down from generation to generation, and now we're passing it on to our audience members and
It
to our
is.
viewers at home.
It's an excellent recipe.
And something else we're passing on to our audience members, everyone's going home with a CK Mondavi t-shirt, and it has the label on the front.
The oak tree.
How fabulous is that? Thank
The
you
heritage.
so much, Janice
My
Mondavi, for
pleasure.
joining us in studio. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Up next, crazy celebrity weight loss tricks. Do they work? Should we try them? A doctor joins me to weigh in, pun intended. Don't go away. Welcome back to Celebrity Corner. I'm your host, Dorothy Casaseri. Matthew McConaughey took home the Oscar for Best Actor for his role in Dallas Buyers Club. And some say his drastic 47-pound weight loss, yes, 47 pounds, to play an AIDS patient was the key to his win. But what kind of toll did this crash diet take on his health? And what are the lasting consequences of celebrity crash diets? Here today to discuss this and some of the crazy things stars do to lose weight, she's been featured on CBS This Morning, among others, medical weight loss expert, Dr. Sue Decotiis.
How are you? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So let's talk about Matthew McConaughey. He reportedly existed on a diet of Diet Coke, 2 egg whites, a piece of chicken, and then another Diet Coke, and that was his daily meal. I mean, for what, 4 months it took him to lose 47 pounds?
And they also say that he allowed himself a tiny bit of tapioca pudding, and that he has this old antique spoon that he got from New Orleans. This tiny little spoon that he kind of like spoon-fed himself these baby-sized portions to make it last longer. He also said he had 1 glass of wine a night.
Oh, wow.
So.
Well, okay, now I want to read a quote from him. He said, "My body resembled a little baby bird with its mouth open, crying, 'Feed me, feed me.' And you realize Mama Bird ain't gonna feed you."
That is
hard.
true. That is true. I mean, I think he should have been under medical supervision. I mean, if he were my patient, I understand that he would have to lose a lot of weight for this role. Obviously, it was worth his while. He won an Academy Award. However, what kind of toll is it going to take on his health? Now, he's 44 years old. As you get older, you can't bounce back from that kind of severe weight loss. It can cause a lot of inflammation inside the body. Just think of the toll it takes on your heart. You lose a lot of muscle mass, not healthy. You also can lose your hair.
Right.
You know, your face can stop dropping.
It's just not a good idea to lose 7 pounds a week for 4 months.
And again, when you lose muscle mass, you're really lowering your basal metabolic rate, which is your metabolism, so that when you stop dieting, you're going to gain a lot of that weight back.
Of course.
So it's just drastic, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Celebrities do kind of crazy things to lose weight. And, you know, the question is, you know, how do you lose weight? The spring is coming. Well, I think it is. I don't know. That's what they say.
It's debatable.
It's debatable. But, you know, with spring coming, people want to get into bathing suits.
Yes.
I want to kind of, you know, get your take on some of the things that celebrities do. There's this thing out there called Garcinia cambogia. And this is something that Britney Spears has actually used in the past to lose weight. What's your take on this?
I think it's great, and I actually feature it in my line of vitamins, which you can get at drdecotiis.com. But the trick with Garcinia, it has to be very pure. It has to be produced from really the finest raw ingredients.
It's a fruit, right?
Yes, it is, and it grows in Asia and India.
Okay.
But what it does is it inhibits your appetite, and it also impairs your body's ability to put fat down. So that's really, really important. And I think of all the things out there, that is one of the better ones, but it has to be high quality. So that's why I really developed my own line of supplements for my weight loss patients.
So Garcinia cambogia is a part of your line.
It really is.
I like that. It sounds like a good technique.
It works.
I don't know. If I can take a little pill and I can lose a couple pounds, I'll take it.
But you have to be on a low-carb diet.
Of course.
It should have a lot of fiber in it, high in protein, and that's one of the things that women don't get. So when women come into my office and they say, I can't lose weight, especially as they're getting a little older, of course we check their hormones and everything.
Right.
But we often find that they're not getting enough protein. So we have these fabulous amino acid supplements, something called Uber Protein, which you can find on my website, and something called Youth Protein. Now Youth Protein helps you elevate your growth hormone level, and that keeps your body intact, maintains muscle mass, good for your joints. So it's very healthy for you.
So I like the idea of these, you know, these supplements, these natural things, instead of crash dieting like Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
What about apple cider vinegar? Heidi Klum has been said to take shots of it before meals, and she just, you know, swears by it.
I don't use it in my practice. I think that the theory is it could inhibit your appetite because it gets broken down to something called acetic acid. But I don't really think that it's good for long-term use.
Okay, but could it maybe curb your appetite?
It could potentially, yes.
Okay.
But again, I would really suggest things that really work with your body a little bit more efficiently. So we have a supplement called Slimplex, which I know you've heard about.
Oh, well, Slimplex, by the way, Dr. Sue is sending everybody in our studio audience home with Slimplex today. So you can try this out. And what's the
well, you know
theory
what's in
Slimplex?
it, which is great? It has really highly compounded green tea. Now, we all know, and celebrities like to do this.
Oh, they love green tea.
They love green tea, but you'd have to drink it all day to get the results in one capsule.
And you would be so wired.
You really
right?
would.
Because there's caffeine in green tea.
There can be, yes.
Right.
And it also has something called banaba leaf, which is really great to keep your insulin levels low. So when you're trying to lose weight and like you're one of these carbaholic people, the reason why you have trouble is that your insulin level is going up and down.
So this is going to stabilize
So this is going to stabilize it so you can burn fat.
Oh, I love all of this.
So it's so healthy.
Wow.
And it really works with your body. So you can have a pretty dramatic weight loss. Nothing like Matthew McConaughey.
But you don't want that.
I don't want it. I don't think he looked great at the Oscars either.
He put a little bit more on. Dr. Sue, thank you so much for joining us today. You were fabulous. Thanks for all the great
so
tips.
Much fun.
And
Thank you.
stay tuned because up next we have even more giveaways. I mean, how many more giveaways are we going to have? Welcome back to Celebrity Corner. Now it's giveaway time. Our studio audience is going home tonight with quite a few things. And first, my favorite, Popchips. A single-serve bag of Popchips has only 100 calories and they're never fried and never baked. They're popped. They come in 13 delicious flavors, including perennial favorites, original and barbecue, as well as popped tortilla flavors and Katy Perry's signature flavor, Katie's Kettle Corn. One lucky viewer at home can win a 3-month supply of Popchips by tweeting @Popchips and @Dorothy on TV, that's me, with hashtag #BringTheFun and tell us how you plan to bring the fun this year. We're also sending our studio audience home with a Moonstone Kikiballa bracelet from Joseph Nogucci. The bead bracelet has been a symbol of peace, tranquility, and happiness for generations, and this unisex bracelet is made with white howlite stones, is adjustable in size, and has been worn by celebs such as American Idol alum Adam Lambert. And one lucky viewer can win the Joseph Nogucci Moonstone Kikiballa bracelet by tweeting me @Dorothy on TV and telling me why you want this bracelet. And there's one last thing I want to share with everyone. Sports Food Technology's Rapid Electrolyte Replacement Strips. They replace the important things in our body that we lose during exercise, like potassium and sodium, providing increased performance and better recovery. They don't have all the calories and sugars of energy drinks, that's why I like them. So they have the good stuff without the bad. And they're easy to take, they just dissolve in your mouth, and they're easy to travel with. I saw a real difference when I used them before and during my workout. Check out sportsfood.com for more info on how to purchase. And if you buy 5 online and enter the code TV, you get 2 free. Thank you so much to Zoom Interiors for my fabulous set, to allmodern.com, and thank you also to Lulu's for my fabulous clothes. Tune in next Thursday night, 6:30 in New York on WVVH and 7:30 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware on WMCN, and also online at DorothyOnTV.com. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, both @DorothyOnTV, and I will see you next week